Hello everyone. Today let's try to understand some fundamental indicators, fundamental factors related to Welspun Corporation Limited. Um, this stock has been trading at a low valuation, and let's try to understand what this company is all about. Uh, the content over here has been taken from the latest annual report, which has been released just a month back. So at a glance, what is Welspun Corp? It's a big company of Welspun Group. Welspun Group itself is a big group. It consists of Welspun India and Welspun Corp is also an umbrella organization of two or three different kinds of businesses. It's an engineering company in pipes, and it's a preferred supplier to many global companies. One thing which is interesting to note over here is that this is amongst the top three welded line pipe manufacturers globally. There are two sectors it caters to. One is obviously oil and gas, the other is water resource management. And very recently, in the conference call by the management, they had also indicated that even if oil and gas goes down, there are other sectors which will definitely come up, which are the emerging sectors like hydrogen gas uh, or liquid natural gas, etc. So all that will come up eventually in future. So the demand for pipes will never go away. The only point here to note is that it's not a consistent business at this time because it is a project based business. Whenever government comes out with a project, it will issue a tender, and in that tender they will Wellspun will apply for it and submit a proposal, and eventually if they get selected, then they get business. So it's a very project based business, not like a running consistent business. What defines us, they have a huge installed capacity. uh, so 2550 kilo metric tons of capacity, and out of that the orders won during the year are 825. So this is one of the key indicators. Ideally, if the installed capacity is so much, the orders won through the year, they should equal the installed capacity, and that's where they will be able to utilize the capacity. But at this time, you can see this is the first indicator. They are not at this time winning the orders, but please mind it that it was a COVID year and there were a lot of disruptions. So going forward, it is very, very likely that the orders will double, triple, or go multiple times. Active bid book is also pretty healthy. They have bid for these many orders, which means that if they win even half of these, then I think they will reach more than 60% of their installed capacity. This is the global production. I think you can go and take a look at it. Six manufacturing facilities in three countries. This is very interesting. They have three, they are catering to obviously the Middle East, which is a hub for oil and gas, but even United States and India, obviously. Volume breakup by country, 62% of the installed capacity is in India, and then 12% is in United States, and 25% in Saudi Arabia. So India is a hub. Order book. Look at the order book. India order book is the maximum. Uh, Actually, yes. India order book is the maximum in the last 2 years, but if you look at 2019, Saudi Arabia order book was the maximum. So Middle East has a lot of potential. Even United States had a lot of potential in 2019. So look at their 2019 year, it has been really good. But after that, 2020 and 2021, it has seen a lot of dip, and hopefully things come back to track this year and going forward. With India's Jal Jeevan Nigam, and United States is also looking at um, replacing their piping infrastructure because it's a century old infrastructure now, and Saudi Arabia because of the oil and gas hub. So all three regions hold promise. When these promises are going to fructify is something we have to see. Order book by type, I think these are the type of products which the company manufactures, and ERW is the majority, followed by the others. So look at this key highlights. These are the highlights of the group. Okay, these are the highlights of the group, not of Welspun Corp. Uh, so in the group, they have a textiles business. So they are the largest home textile supplier to US, which is very good. The group strengths are there. It is the second largest diameter pipe producer in the world, and presence in multiple countries, and they can really synergize with the group and their presence, and they can do things. I think that's what it means. So a nice snapshot of the group. Now, the products that we saw and we talked about, right? And these are the products, the some of the snapshots of the products over here. And basically, it is the products are defined by how the welding has been done to create those pipes. Because pipe is created by a sheet has to be curved, and then the two edges of this sheet have to be welded, and that's how the pipes are created. So um, there are different kinds of pipes useful for different kinds of purposes. That's what it means. Let's look at the um, other kinds of products also which the company manufactures. These are not the mainstream products, but still it gives the company uh, uh, a leverage to foray into the other segments as well. So it's good to have a nice wide product portfolio. Okay, what is the outlook? Outlook, this is, I think, a key slide where you look at the countries, you recall the countries, right, where uh, the sales breakup was coming from. And look at this rollout of vaccines. So India is obviously having a vaccine program which is going very well, but it will result in an improved scenario for oil and gas. So if the demand for oil and gas is going to grow, then Wellspun is going to be a beneficiary. Okay, and then there is a big thrust in India on natural gas. So this is another important point. Um, Domestic water segment, Nal Se Jal scheme or the Jal Jeevan scheme, these are going to drive the demand. But yes, some states are continuing to battle with COVID-19, so that's where the tender creation might get delayed. So this is about India, and now look at the exports markets, and specifically here, what is important is that if the oil prices go up, then the oil producer companies will be motivated to spend more in producing more oil and creating more infrastructure, and that's where Wellspun can benefit. So if you can see, they have been receiving several inquiries because the crude oil prices have gone up in the last few months. Now they are hovering around, I think, around 73 or dollars a barrel or something. and therefore they have an optimism on the prospects of Saudi Arabia. This is important. This is one of the issues which they have mentioned, that in the US, the major pipeline projects have been stalled by environmental opposition. Now, the point is that this opposition is not going to remain forever. Obviously, um uh, the government over there will navigate, because they have to replace their aging infrastructure, but it may take a little bit of time. So overall, US is a caution, but then India and Saudi Arabia is attractive. Now look at this. This is important to understand that how the order book has been. So we are basically in the COVID year, we are somewhere roughly at 60,000, or these levels which were seen in 2017, 2018. So we are roughly around that level right now, but in between there was a huge uptake, and there was a lot of investment which was going into piping sector. um, the hope here is that how does it where do we go from here? So if we were going from here to here, and then somewhere, I think somewhere it should catch up like this, right? Because then it shows a proper curve. I think somewhere Wellspun next year, if we plot next year, then I think it should come to around 2020 level. Then it is going to be very beneficial for the stakeholders. So it should come around this level in 2022, and then we will see that the company is back pretty much on a growth trajectory. Coming to the EBITDA pretty much follows the same. So in 2019 they made a lot of capex investments, and that's where the EBITDA went down, because they had a you remember they had a large order book in 2019. So to cater to that, they would have made certain capex sort of investments, and that's where the EBITDA has probably gone down. But eventually it is going up. In 2020 it was good, and then in 2021, this is encouraging that despite sales coming down to these levels in 2017 and 2018, the EBITDA has not gone down to the same levels, right? There is an increase in the COVID year. So that is very, very, very attractive to note. This is profit after tax. So profit after tax also, if you see here, probably again the investments that they were making in capacity building or plant might be hitting them. I do not know. We have to see the past annual reports for this. But this is again encouraging that how your profit is going up. Uh, a part of this might be because they have sold a subsidiary recently, but which is, I think, related to plates, the Welspun Steel Plates Limited, which has been sold. Uh, I have to check actually, but they received some 800 crores out of that, and that might also be playing in this number. Net debt. This is also very encouraging. They had a very high debt of almost 1100 crores in 2017. Now this debt is turning negative, which means that it's a risk-free company at this time, a debt-free company at this time. Very, very assuring graph over here. Now, this is extremely important. Whenever you are trying to evaluate a company, you should also evaluate, who are leading this company. And if you look at this, board size is 8, which is really good. There is no issue. A number of board meetings is also 11, which is pretty good. It means that every month they have a board meeting, which is excellent. Board attendance is very high, which is that board members are taking interest in it, which is very, very nice. Committee meetings, I'm not sure what that is. I think it is audit committee. So audit committee, yes, they are doing so many meetings, nearly more than two meetings every month, and with an excellent attendance. So this is again very good. Average tenure is 11 years, and for independent directors it is 8 years, which indicates the stability of the management and the experience of the management. So that is excellent. New appointments. I think this is also nothing to talk specifically about, but look at this average board age. This is 58 years, uh, which means that this is being run by a very seasoned, sort of team, management team, and that is a little bit worrying according to me. If you look at the age diversity, there is absolutely no one which is above below 50 years of age in the whole management team. I think they should look at some sort of diversity to bring in new thoughts and have a risk appetite also. So I would say this is an important aspect of this management team. I really hope that the company is looking at it, and they are trying to induct people who are from new generations and latest generations. Gender diversity is relatively good compared to others. It is not at 50-50, but in India, 37% representation from women is really nice. So, dosto, this is what I had to share about Welspun Corp. I hope it gave you a good indication of this company, and if you are really convinced about this company, then please make your own investment decisions. I feel that this is a very nice company, and personally, my view is that at this time the level